Okay, great, guys. Yeah, so let's get started. We're just going to be talking about, basically how to set up a squeeze page and, how to then run a PPC type Facebook ad to that squeeze page. Really common question we got a lot. The Facebook ads manager can be a little bit intimidating if you've never done it before, but we're going to start with the easy side of things with actually creating the squeeze page. And I'm actually going to use the squeeze page template that is most recommended by a gentleman of ours. It's a client named Duncan Burns, works for a brokerage out in Massachusetts. They love this template. They use it for all of their Facebook ads, and I think it's really fabulous. So we're going to go ahead and do that. They get a lot of leads. So here, let me get my screen share going here. Okay, cool. So we're just going to use so we just have the leadsites.easyagentpro.com pulled up here. This is just our test IDX and demo site. So we're just going to use one of these, for example. So theoretically, say we are running a squeeze page for a specific listing. Say that you are the lucky person that is the listing agent for this 8 mil one. So let's go ahead and open that up. So this is the squeeze. This is the listing that we're going to be running the squeeze page to. So now that I have this loaded up in a separate window, I'm going to go back to my dashboard. This is what you guys all see when you log into your Easy Agent Pro site. I'm going to go to Apps here, and then we are going to select Squeeze. And please pardon any loading or lagging delay here, just because when we're doing the screen share, it gets a little bit like that. So we're going to open up the Squeeze app, and we're going to go ahead and create a new squeeze. From categories, so in Squeeze, you're going to see all these different templates that are available. I'm just going to go ahead and click on Facebook here, and this is the one that we want to use. So you'll see that there's a bunch here, but this is the one. So this gentleman, Duncan Burns, swears by this template. He says they get really, really good traction with it. Actually do convert a lot of leads. So all I'm going to do to set this up is I'm going to take my listing here, and I'm just going to go ahead and download a few. So let me just save that image to my downloads. Let's get an interior one saved to download. So I'm just going to download 4 images just from the listing. And this is an extremely nice mansion, I guess you could probably call it. So that's the third one, and then let's get, maybe there's like a nice, oh, that bathroom shot is great right there. Let's do that. Save that image to downloads. So then what I'm going to do is, I'm actually going to close that tab out. So back on my squeeze page here, I can edit all these images. They're really easy to do. All I have to do is click on the background image to edit it. So I'm going to go ahead and click that, and then I'm going to click Change Image. And I'm going to go ahead and upload all 4 of those that I downloaded right now. So if I'm looking at my downloads here, we're going to have the last 4 images that I just downloaded. And you're going to see that these sizes are pretty good right now. Go ahead and upload these to the media library. And we're just going to go ahead and add them to the website. So let's just let those upload first. Cool. So I'm going to use this exterior one for the top image. I'm going to replace this one. So as you guys can see, all I'm doing is I'm just clicking that image to edit it. And I'm just swapping them out for those 4 that I just downloaded. So nothing fancy, just downloaded a couple images from the actual listing itself. You can get them from, not only just the listing page on your website, but also your MLS too, if you have like specific ones you want to get. So super easy to do. This description can also be edited too. So get instant access to the price and pictures of this property. We will also send you a list of properties like this one. I'm not even going to bother editing that because this is just a single property listing. So I think that's a really, really good option for that. And then finally, you can edit the actual button. So this says sign in with Facebook. You can change that text. You can say like click here to see with Facebook, sign in with Facebook. We'll go ahead and do that. Now you do have a couple options with these Facebook squeeze pages. By default, what it's going to collect is, because it's going to allow you to sign in with Facebook, it's going to collect your Facebook email and your name. Some folks want to have a little bit more than that. You can also go ahead and slide this on to ask for phone, which means that after they click that login, they will be prompted to enter their phone number as well. So that's totally up to you if you want to try to solicit that information or not. We're just going to leave it off right now for demonstration purposes, but the option does exist for you to ask for a phone number when using those Facebook login type pages. So go ahead and click OK. So this looks pretty good. This overlay is just a little bit out of, it's not going to look like that in the live page, just editing right now in the smaller window. It looks a little bit out of whack. So I'm just going to go ahead and click Done Editing. We are going to change this to a redirect. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to take my URL. So this is my listing that we're running the squeeze page for, copying that URL, and I'm pasting it in right here. And if I click Save, so what that means is that as soon as somebody clicks that Sign In with Facebook button, they're brought through that dialog, and then they are redirected to that page. Super easy. So then I'm going to go ahead and click Launch. You get a few things that you can kind of run through on your pre-launch checklist here. So SEO settings, we'll call this one, actually something I would not do for this listing because we just have like some really great images with no address or price or anything along those lines. I wouldn't actually put the address in the SEO title or SEO description like you normally might, because that could just kind of be revealing something where folks could see the page title, they're like, oh, it's 6890 Countryside Lane, Auburn. I don't even have to click login with Facebook. I don't have to do that. So we're just gonna call this like Auburn Dream Home or something like that. And then we'll just leave that blank for the time being. And then your social share image you can set as well. Let's just go ahead and use that. That's the image that comes up when you actually share this to Facebook or something along those lines. And then finally, you can, Auburn Dream Home, and then SEO description. Actually, we will enter one. See this magnificent Auburn CA mansion today, something like that. Then you could also, you could set texty to text folks if they get their phone number, and you can also add a tracking pixel or connect it to a path in CRM. Tracking pixels will actually come into play when Chris starts talking a little bit about the Facebook ad side of things. You don't actually have to add it to the actual squeeze page. This is a really common question we get. If you have your Facebook tracking pixel installed in the Pixels app, which is another app entirely, then you don't have to worry about anything. We added the functionality to add a tracking pixel to Squeeze to kind of future-proof the application if the need ever should arise where you actually do need a specific pixel code just on this page. So I'm going to go ahead and click Done with Settings for now. Let's launch it. Call this Auburn Dream Home. Go ahead and click Save. And our squeeze page is done. So if I click on this, we'll get to see it live. And we'll see here that, let me go ahead and widen this out a little bit. Actually, you know what? I'm seeing that overlay is a little bit funky there still. Chris, I'm not really quite sure what that is about. I think it probably has something to do with my browser size or resolution. So if I wasn't logged in, we probably wouldn't be seeing that.
Are you talking about the weird,
yeah, just that little line there with the transparency?
Yeah,
we could remove it altogether. That's true too. But yeah, so if you guys are having an issue of some kind with how your squeeze page looks visually, just let us know. So, but this is basically going to be our page. If I click Sign In with Facebook, you're going to see that we're brought through this dialog. We see that it redirects to Facebook here. Previously logged in. If I've never logged in before, it would say, do you grant this website permission? Brought back here, thanks for your information, redirecting, and then finally brought back to the actual page. So so we've set the squeeze page up. It's kind of ready to be eliciting leads here, and then I'm going to go ahead and drop the link to that just in the chat over here. So yeah, so we have a really great Facebook-ready squeeze page. Like I said, the clients have had a lot of success with this particular template just because it's super simple. You might have noticed some of the other templates were very wordy. how to big space for text. This is really just, here's 4 fabulous pictures. Click here to see more. So very, very simple setup. And yeah, so I'm going to turn it over to Chris in case you guys have any questions. Go ahead and drop them in the chat. But Chris is going to go ahead and take over and show you how to now run a Facebook ad to this squeeze page.
Awesome. Good stuff, man. Thanks for building that out for me. So Chris just showed you how to do the squeeze page portion of it. Make sure that, like he said, you fill out all the SEO things because that's what's going to move over or roll over. Did you add an image to it as well?
I did add an image to it, yes.
Okay, perfect.
Yep.
The reason for that is all this information is going to roll over to your Facebook ad that you're using, making it really making it easier for your time. You're not wasting time uploading images for a second or third time to the Facebook ad itself. Everything rolls over. It's done super sweet, super simply, and really, really quick. I'm going to screen share now. And then I'm going to go to my Facebook page. Chris, can you see it by chance?
I can, yes.
Perfect. Okay. So this is my personal private Facebook page. That's where you'll want to start off. Your business page is actually associated with your private page. So there's no need to stress out about which page is working for you, and you can always select which page you want to use on the ad or to appear with the ad in the ad manager itself, making it really easy. From here, from my homepage, I'm actually going to navigate to this teeny tiny little downward arrow in the upper right-hand corner of my Facebook page. And when I click it, a drop-down menu is going to appear. And the magical button that we're looking for is the Manage Ads button. When I click the Manage Ad button, it's going to take me to my ad account. And this is where all of my information is as far as what advertisements I've ran. If I wanted to create a new advertisement, it shows me all of that data. So I'm going to select my name here. And it's going to take me to those ads that I have ran. Mine looks a little strange just because I used to have a music blog that I'd run ads on. So it's not going to really pertain to real estate, but we're still going to build one on here all the way to the point where we're ready for Facebook to review it, just so you get the idea of how it works. If you notice, it has a specific campaign set up. It's got all kinds of good stuff, your ad set and the ads. What we're going to do is we're actually going to build an ad out. So we're going to create it. And Facebook is going to take forever to load. I'm going to start over. And the first thing that it's going to do, so we're going to create a new campaign. What we want to do, especially if we're new to Facebook advertising and our pixel hasn't really had a lot of traffic coming to and from it from Facebook, we definitely want to do the consideration of traffic. And what that means is we're going to get as many views as possible on the ad to as many different platforms as possible as well in the Facebook universe. Ultimately, what we want to do is we want to name the campaign, so Dream Home.
And that also kind of goes, not to cut in, but just like if you guys want to run an ad and it's Friday and it's like 3 p.m., just do it as a traffic ad. It's like that's always a safe bet if you're creating an ad to kind of push out there into the Facebook universe.
Yeah, exactly.
We always get a lot of questions because it's very confusing to see that list of like 14 or 15 different versions of it. So
let's dive into some of these too. So conversions is another good one. Engagement's okay. This is more for blog posts or a specific article that you're trying to show people. It's good for website traffic, not necessarily lead generation. So keep that in mind. Obviously, some of these other ones really don't pertain to us. The lead generation one's nice, but it's all done in Facebook's ad creator. So your squeeze pages are obsolete with this. The thing is that the squeeze page allows you to be much more creative. It allows much more control with what you're trying to portray for your business. This is just a simple form. So it's not the best way to generate leads online. And with Chris's template that he chose, that login with Facebook button does the exact same thing. So don't stress out about it. Traffic is always the best bet. Conversions is another good one. Once you've got, you've had some time, you've created some really, really great retargeted individuals. You've had success with some traffic ads. But in general, we always recommend traffic, especially for beginners. And like Chris said, if it's a quick ad that you need to pump out before you go for the weekend, traffic's the way to go for sure. We're going to scroll down here. I'm not going to create a split test or budget optimization because I'm going to do this all myself. I want complete control. I'm not going to have Facebook do it for me. But I am going to name the campaign name Dream Home. And then I'm going to click Continue. And as you notice, as I'm scrolling through this, on the left-hand side, you kind of have a goal tracker. So I've created the objective, right? It's giving me the check. And now I'm creating this ad set. So this ad set I'm going to do, it was in Auburn, right?
Yeah, Auburn, California.
I'm just going to name it. Keep your naming consistent with what advertisement you're doing. You don't ever want to just name it ad 1, ad 2, ad 3 because you don't know what the ad. You don't know
You'll
what,
hate yourself later when you go back to look at them.
what pixel is going to be associated with it. And when the lead comes in, it's going to say it came in on this squeeze page from ad 1 or whatever. So just make sure you're keeping consistent so you're better. You know, it saves you time in the long run. You know where these leads are coming from and you know how to follow up with them efficiently. What we want to do is we want to direct our traffic to the website, right? We're using that link to our squeeze page. We don't want to do Messenger or WhatsApp unless you want to. It's up to you. I prefer website. This is what I've had the most success with, especially with squeeze pages. Dynamic creative is something that you can customize, you know, headlines. It generates optimized, basically resources for your advertisement. I don't like doing it. I just like to have the full creative control again. So I'm just going to keep that shut off. And we don't have an offer that we're doing, so that's going to be off as well. The fun part starts to get towards when we're doing the audience. The audience itself is really, really easy to create. It's a little, it does look scary at first, but it's super simple. If you have a custom audience, you can find a saved audience and add them if you want to. In this case, we're just going to create a brand new one. So I'm going to choose a location, everyone in this location. Let's do California. Let's do Nevada since it's close by. And how about Washington? Actually, let's keep it with those two because if you notice on the right-hand side, you have an audience size meter. And obviously, I'm a little bit on the broad side because I'm trying to reach 32 million people. If I wanted to, I could take Nevada out, and that might help me out a little bit. Not really, by 2 million people. Either way, you'll see this go up or down in real time depending on what you're adding here. You can get super hyper localized too. Oops. San Diego. And that one's going to bring me down a little bit to a much more manageable size, right? I know Auburn's not here. I apologize. I'm not too familiar with California. I'm a Pack Now fan, so Washington and Oregon are more of an area that I know. But we're going to advertise to people in San Diego. Maybe there's a new business that just opened up there. They just created a warehouse in Auburn, and that you want to target those people in that business that's located in San Diego. Things like that. This is a $7 million house, right?
8 something.
8 something. So
Yeah.
I don't know a lot, but I'm pretty sure an 18-year-old probably isn't going to be able to afford an $8 million property. So I'm going to adjust the age limit here. I'm going to go ahead and say roughly 27 to 28 is a good place to start. That's a millennial generation who probably does have a little bit more cash to spend, especially in California, versus the 18-year-old. Unless they're a trust fund baby, there's no way that they're going to be able to afford it. So you always want to adjust your age range appropriately. If you're just blasting it out to 18-year-olds, yeah, you may get clicks, but they're definitely not going to be serious buyers or seriously interested in the property. So you definitely want to adjust your age. Don't be a gender cis. Make sure that you have it set to all. Languages, again, do not exclude people. If you do speak another language, feel free to incorporate it. If you speak Spanish, Portuguese, French, Chinese, Mandarin, whatever, definitely add that. That's a pro. That's something you definitely want to highlight. And make sure you add that on your site as well, right? Letting people know that you speak another language is a niche audience that's going to benefit you greatly.
For sure.
So it's something to really take advantage of. Now comes the fun part, the targeting. Detailed targeting is really, really cool. We're talking about an $8 million mansion here. So in this case, what I'm going to do is interests like golfing, right? I'm going to target what type of products they probably use. So maybe a Porsche. See if I spelled that right. I'm also going to target any type of big activity or something, vacation. And then also real estate, because that's what we're doing, right? So real estate investing might be a good one. And then after you've picked 3 or 4 of them, click the suggestions box, right? This is going to give you a really awesome example of what you can choose and add in these and really, really focus in on people. So luxury real estate, boom, interest, perfect. What else is on here? House hunting, perfect, right? So you can go through here and pick all the fun ones. I'm going to say the Z word. We can add that in there if you wanted to. Let's see, holidays, great, right? I don't think starter home is a good one. So have fun with this. Make sure you keep an eye on your audience size, because the more you add, you're going to get way too specific. It's going to start running you down towards the red. And the goal is to stay dead centered. So I'm pretty happy with what I focused in on here.
Yeah, that's what was that, 890,000?
Yeah, just shy of 1 million people. Pretty good. One thing that I want to warn you folks with: do not use the exclusion options or narrow audience options. Facebook is in deep water right now with equal housing opportunity. If you exclude individuals, it is seen as a profile. You definitely don't want to be included in that lawsuit. You don't want to be included as an example of what you shouldn't do. So definitely don't mess around with exclude people unless you're excluding other real estate agents. And when you do that, it's a double-edged sword, because you're losing out on referrals as well. So you want to make sure that you're not messing or not touching this. This is something that I just generally tell people as a general rule of thumb: stay away from it. Don't touch it with a 10-foot pole. Some people have had success with it, but you run that fine line of getting in deep, deep trouble if you use it improperly. So please, please, please heed my warning. Don't mess with the exclusion. It's not for real estate agents. It's more designed for other people who are selling other products. You don't want to worry about connection types. There's no need to do this. Facebook takes care of it for you. It's the one thing I kind of let Facebook deal with. And then general rule of thumb as well, always save your audiences, because you never know when you're going to have one that's successful. Why try and reinvent the wheel over and over and over again if you know this audience is targeted properly and you know that you're getting hits off them? So make sure you save the audience and retarget them in the future.
Great point. Because if you're always selling, I mean, like, this is, kind of a wild example, an $8 million mansion, but if you're always selling in like the $250,000 to $300,000 neighborhood in the same area, just keep hitting that same audience over and over again, because it's going to pay off eventually.
It'll pay off, and people, like you said, eventually are going to bite. People are going to see that you're you're that constant resource in that area for nice properties or for whatever you're trying to help them out with. So definitely save your audiences and use them. Do not reinvent the wheel if it works for you. Don't try and be Elon Musk of Facebook advertising. It's not going to work. If you find one that works, stick with it and continue using it. Your placements are one thing that I really recommend that you note down as well. You do want to edit your placements. Do not let Facebook automatically place them. And the reason for that is you want to shut off your Instagram feed. Instagram is a very limiting social media platform to advertise listings on, specifically $8 million listings. You want to make sure that you get as many views on it, and you want to make sure that these people are actively clicking. It's tough, right? Instagram says if you want to learn more, you have to slide down. People are lazy. I don't want to do it. And the worst part about Instagram as well is it only allows you to use one link on your profile. So I recommend not wasting the money using Instagram and focusing that ad revenue towards something like in the Facebook feed, on your Messenger, or in the audience network. So make sure that you're removing Instagram entirely from your Facebook ad. If you folks have, I'd love it. I'd love if you folks have had success with Instagram, please tell me. The only thing that I think is good for is brand recognition. I sound like a revolving record. In previous classes, we've talked about the biggest beard in real estate. We've talked about people finding those niche audiences and really targeting their brand towards those people. So it does have its pro. It's just definitely not used for PPC advertising, for sure. Again, do not discriminate. Don't be a phone cyst. If you're an Apple guy, you're an Apple guy. If you're an Android guy or gal, you're an Android guy or gal. Just deal with it. Have it apply on all phones. All of our pages are compatible with mobile devices, so don't stress out if it's going to be ugly on one or the other. It'll work across the board. So don't specify mobile devices. No block lists and no exclusion categories. Again, don't touch those things at all. Even though Facebook has said they've resolved the situation, they may have as far as collusion with Russia is concerned, but when it comes to equal housing, they're completely oblivious to it, and that's why they're in trouble. So just make sure you're not doing the exclusion categories. The next thing that I want to talk about is the budget and schedule. I prefer to set a lifetime budget. And the reason for that is it allows me to give a start and end time and date, more importantly. If you're running an advertisement to sell a property, the best time to run that ad is Friday to Monday. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. If you're running an open house, Wednesday to Friday is a great way. If you're doing a giveaway, then you have a little bit more leeway. But in general, when you're trying to do an open house or information on a property, Friday at 4 o'clock is the best time because people are cracking open their beers and they're checking their social media account after work, and end it on Monday around 11 a.m. when people are coming into work finally winding down from the weekend and want to get that last, that last hit of Facebook before they have to kick into the new week. So definitely do that. It's simple by just, clicking and then changing where you want it and what time you want it to set. It'll give you the warning if it's past a specific day. And then the lifetime budget, you don't need to spend any more than $45 to generate at least 10 to 15 leads on a good advertisement. Obviously, the more you spend, the more estimated daily results you're going to see. So if you do $45, it's going to drop you down to $170 to, whatever. If you bump it up to $450 for the week, you see it obviously get increased. You see that there's more views, more clicks. You'll get an idea of how many people per day are going to see and click the ad. And Facebook's usually pretty good with this. So again, you want to adjust that lifetime budget if you're happy with it, by all means. The daily budget's fine as well. The only thing I don't like about it is that it's a bid schedule, and they'll only advertise, you could set your limit on price, but it'll only spend the amount of what has been clicked. I like having complete control on when it's running. I know when it's running, I know when it's ending, and I won't forget about the ad and then see, a week later, I've just blown $200 for no reason.
Exactly. Very good point.
So definitely set your budget and schedule up. There we go. I'm just going to set it here just to continue on. And then the fun part where you get to actually build the advertisements about to kick in. So the first thing that I told you about, right, don't stress out if you're on your private or whatever page. It's going to pull up all the pages associated with your site. So in this case, I'm going to use Easy Agent Pro. I do not need to worry about Instagram placement because we're not advertising on it. And what I'm going to do for my format is I'm actually going to select the single image ad. And now I'm going to grab Chris's link that he's created. So I'm going to copy that. Whoops. And now I'm going to scroll down. This is what makes Easy Agent Pro so much better than running just a bullcrap ad on Facebook. I'm going to scroll down. I'm going to skip all this. I don't need to worry about any of this, right? What I need to find is where it says website URL, and it's nestled underneath the link section. And all I need to do, if Chris did his job right, is enter this in, which I know he did. Oh, did Facebook change it? Oh, that's loading. It's freaking out for a second.
Right now. Yeah.
I was panicked. There we go. Look at that. Chris's beautiful ad, boom, rolled right over. I don't need to stress out about uploading the image. It automatically does it. The text is added all the way for me, right? The headline's there, Auburn Dream Home. All of this information is here. And the cool thing is if you didn't want to learn more, you can change the call to action to whatever. Apply now, book now, download, get offer.
And also, just so you guys know, you can change those images too. So say when you made the squeeze page, you uploaded the wrong one, or you put a bunch of text in, you don't like what the text reads as, you can always go back and edit that actually within the Facebook ads dashboard here. Right,
so I didn't like this text, so I changed it. And there it goes in real time.
There it goes.
Quick and easy to do, Chris. That's a good point. Thanks for
perfecto.
So you can change all this information out. Once you're happy with it, the last thing you need to do is double check and make sure that your Facebook pixel is tracking this advertisement. You always want to turn it on. Normally, if it's active, it should be turned on. It doesn't hurt to double check because sometimes if you haven't approved the updates for the algorithm, you may have to go in and reactivate your pixel. So just make sure it's turned on. Obviously, I haven't done mine in forever since I don't do Facebook ads that often anymore. And yeah, that's it. You built yourself a beautiful ad. You're happy with it. Confirm that bad boy. Facebook will review it and they'll let you know when the advertisement is running. Easy peasy.
Yeah, it's pretty straightforward, guys. I mean, as long as you're just running these as like the consideration as traffic, and you have like a good handle on how to create the audience, that's the best way to do it. Because there's a lot of kind of nitty gritty and questions you can kind of get into with it, but once you run 3 or 4, you'll have a very good handle about how to create these, how to manage the ad set. Really, half the battle is learning how to use the Facebook ads dashboard, and exactly the tools that they have available to, available to make the actual ads happen.
Very good. Good stuff. Please email us. Now is the time for question and answers. Send us a message right now if you have any questions. If you have any ideas for Facebook ads, let us know. Chris nailed it on the head. Now is the time, right? The holiday's over. We're done with it, right? Now is the time to start pumping out open houses, lists of properties for sale, the whole 9 yards.